Yo, it's your boy Quincy Murdoch, and you're now tuned in to another episode of Not Just Music Podcast, where we keep it real and honest, always.
What's going on, everybody? Not Just Music Podcast. Dwan Barino, Quincy Murdoch in the building as always. How's everything, sir?
Everything good. We've been hitting them with these last episodes, man. I've been feeling it. You've been feeling it. I hope the people are feeling it most and definitely. We just here to spread the word, man, and wake the people up. They're asleep, and it's something that's woken. We encourage the woke ones to spread it also, the knowledge they have. How you doing, man?
Excellent. No complaints here. Definitely
What we got?
Be educated and give educated thoughts on Black history. 2024 is definitely a year that we definitely need to understand that a lot is definitely going on in the Black community, and the Black community has failed the Black community in many ways.
Right.
One, I'm still digging into the case of, as I said, education. If we didn't lack education so much, we probably could be in a bigger space with each other.
Right.
We don't look at equality the correct way, and I'm speaking of equality amongst our own community. One way. Just look at how upset, how angry people are. We're just the common people. Let's say the common people. Look how upset the common people are with one another, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this again. I've already spoken on togetherness.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why we lack the togetherness, I think it really starts with the children nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
If we can't teach the children the correct way, by the time they become adults, they're in a different position, they're in a different space, and mindset is all over the place. But the reason being is that way is because they learn to be a certain way for their basically their entire lives. So one reason I'm saying this is because, like I said, I've been sticking to the Rosenwald schools. The Rosenwald schools, to me, were one of the biggest pinnacle points in the South at helping raise, educate, and help the Black child. I speak from a place of wanting Black people to recognize the space that we were in then versus now. Always to show what they had versus what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we're in one of the most blessed situations considerably if we're going to compare this era to that era. Yes.
Well, white people let their history be known, though. We don't let ours be known.
They roll it out on the red carpet.
Like teaching, you say.
They roll it out on the red carpet in white America, bro.
We got the same choice and option,
and they roll it out like it's and don't get me wrong.
It's not room for them to do it.
It's not wrong.
It's not room for them to do it. Like it's not room for us to roll ours out on the red carpet.
Nope.
Nope.
And we just choose to just say that we're not gonna do that.
Oh, we ain't got no opportunity.
Yeah, we
want to stick on the bad.
And if one person has to say it, it's always gonna come out of the person's mouth that's going through it. So let me give you something. Let's start off by saying it is not just Black History Month anymore. Let's start there. Let's start by saying it's something to talk about that has to do with Black history all of the time.
Yeah.
It just gets, again, it gets mixed up and it can get easily swept under a rug and forgotten about very quickly, just because it's not praised. Now, let's make sense of it. Again, sticking in the Rosenwald schools, I found another one. This one is called Pine Grove School. Built in 1923, is the last remaining Rosenwald school in Richland County. Through funding secured from the South Carolina Community Competitive Grant Program, Richland County Conservation Commission, and Lowe's Charitable and Educational Preservation Fund, through the Richland County Recreation Foundation and Commission, has worked diligently to restore the school to its original configuration and successfully created a historic community gathering place. In 2009, the school received its National Register designation and just recently received a Historic Preservation Award from the Historic Columbia Foundation. Now, let's pause for a second,
Right.
just so I can always explain this. If you don't know, let me make sure I say this the correct way. National Register. Again, that's what I'm basically speaking about episode after episode. You every historic landmark, if it's if it's done the correct way, there is a marker that sits in front of a building or a house or a something to the whatever the case of it is being displayed, and it explains and breaks down the details to what the situation or what it makes it history or why it is history. Pay those attention. Pay them attention. Even if it's the case of you're riding by a place and you see one, get out and look at it. It might have something to do with Black history and you don't even know it.
I see a lot of them too.
You do.
It's a lot of them too.
It's crazy how
you
many.
think it was just a sign?
Yeah, you would think that it's just a sign.
Like it's just a sign,
and
bro.
I done passed it for
These
years.
are gold, like you said.
40.
Gold, bro.
I'm 40 years old, bro, and I'm just not making sense of those.
I'm ashamed of myself. I am.
I'm 40.
I like the history right in our face, and we just ride right by.
Straight by. And again, that's why a lot of this stuff is getting thrown on the dirt now. Bulldoze to the ground.
I'm glad we called it before it dies. You know what I'm saying?
We got it. And the craziest things,
Yeah.
you feel like that's the one thing that I wish we could finally get a hold of. Just like white America does with their monuments and their figures and all of the stuff that they feel should have its historical mark.
Right.
They protect it with their life.
They do.
And it's not
their fault. Like
not
I said,
their fault.
It's our fault. We don't push
do the
ours
same
how they
thing.
push theirs.
Thank you. It's our fault that we don't do the same thing.
Right.
Just like with schools.
Cause we got a lot to talk about and brag about as we've been doing.
If we don't just like if we don't say nothing again.
Yeah.
If we don't say nothing, how are we ever going to get to that point where it'll be looked at as gratified or that was gratification to look at that? Or
If nobody says this, bro, all they're gonna talk about is the negative about blacks.
Yeah.
That's all they're gonna talk about. If nobody says this, and it's sad, it takes somebody or a few to have to stand for something and get behind somebody that's probably pushing the same narrative for people to be like, wow, okay, I see another light in it. You know, it's a different perspective of that race, you know, that person, that human, that culture. You know what I'm saying?
when will we be respected for being us? When we respect us. Hear that. When will we be respected for being us is when we respect us. Nobody is going to force us to go talk about the topics that, you know, we talk about. Again, y'all are quick to go look at, well, did they find anything else on Diddy? Let me go see if they find anything else on Diddy yet. Y'all will go look for that, but won't even take the time to even look and see who your great granddaddy was.
I'm sorry.
Or your great grandma.
God,
or your great uncle. Or your great uncle. Or your anybody that falls in
your history, what you come from. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Where did you come from?
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it's like I said, that was simple to find that. You know, the Rosenwald schools, we could talk about that all for the next month and we still wouldn't be done.
And you know what? I don't even want to mention Diddy name. I think Diddy get more attention. Every time we mention his name,
he's getting more power.
He's getting more power.
Yeah.
So I don't even want to say Diddy no more. Like, you know, cause honestly, people will. That's all people will get from an episode if we pushed it. If we put that out, because it's so toxic that we forget what's important and and misconstrue what's
Anything
important.
that can
not
take your
important.
mind off of something good,
Right.
That's the whole entire point. You are absolutely right.
Right.
The more we roll into something to give something more power, we'll never get to the point of where we're actually
Right.
effective.
Right.
Just like the whole situation of schools, right? And this is Rosenwald School. I noticed this the case of was to do something for the black community, right? And in the nature of that, right?
Right.
As we spoke on the last episode with the churches that help, right? Now, let me ask you this question: with as many black communities as that's in the world, in the U.S., and let's not even just fine tune it with all the communities that are in America today, right? Imagine if 5 neighborhoods from each city came together, and I'm talking came together in something, the situation of black, right?
Right.
Okay, come together to create a situation. Let's say this neighborhood is going to have fun night every single Friday.
Right.
Right? Nothing but black people. They pull up to have fun night on nothing, not on nothing crazy. Something that's educational, that's built to help versus wreck us. Meaning, it ain't gonna be, you pull up, it ain't gonna be like a whole bunch of alcohol there. Ain't gonna be drugs there.
And that's what we need to get to. Because I'm sorry to cut in, but when I remember Tupac was doing something like that, where his creation, The Thug Life, for example, and one of the things where we don't sell drugs, so we don't have drugs around when kids are getting off the school bus destinations. We don't have drugs. We don't sell dope on the streets or nothing where the kids are. It was all about that structure he had was like a black structure. I think the old modern had. Tupac was ahead of his time.
Definitely.
So the way that he was educated, and like he didn't want gang banging to be shown to kids. It was all about kids. So like you say, the thing of it is, and a lot of black people say this, like, oh, we just got together to have a good time. Like the event that I had just came from, but it was kids out there. It was smoking going on. It was drinking going on. It was guns, people toting guns out there. So if you really, why can't we eliminate all that and still have fun?
Thank you.
Why can't we wait and smoke and drink, when we get home to ourselves and stuff? Why we got to do it in public? Because you know what? Let's confuse the enemy. Let's confuse the racists that's out there. Let's confuse them and be like, they roll through and they can't find no gun on us when we having fun. So they just have to keep riding. Well, we ain't breaking no laws, sir. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no alcohol out here. Ain't no weed out here. Ain't no guns out here. We just listen to music, having fun. See that? But the white people know how to do that. They know how to eliminate the drugs and the alcohol when it's convenient to them and the police. So it ain't about a black or white thing. It's a smart thing, being smart. You know what I'm saying? And being accountable for who you are. And being prepared. That's what I think Tupac was pushing also. Be prepared for what you can control. If this cop roll up on me, am I dirty? Am I not dirty? Am I clean? That's a personal decision we all make. Is what we do. So
my mentality, and this is mine towards it, bro. And I'm gonna be honest, with most of the, like you just said, most of the black community, right? We bring these kids around, right? And I was already talking about educating them.
Right.
Think about that. You got a gun out. You just sitting there with a gun out. Or you sitting there, you smoking a blunt. Right. Or smoking a cigarette. Or drinking some alcohol. Got a open container or whatever, right?
Right.
You out here just living your best crazy life, right? And
a kid get a hold of that.
A kid just roll around and just say a alcohol bottle just sitting there open. He just roll up and grab it and start drinking it. You can create a habit starting from right there.
Bro, you ain't see where the kid took the edible brownie or some candy to school, thought it was candy?
Yeah.
And that it was due because the parents had it.
Yep.
So what you think is not harmful might turn out to be harmful and hurt, the generations to come. That our actions influences the generations to come. That, like, long story short, that's what we saying. Your actions destroy, and this is another thing. The people that's against it, when you get around these people, don't encourage it. Change, like, be like, nah, put that smoke away. That ain't good. But now you have older generations that just want to blend in with the crowd, and even though it's wrong. So that's where the problem is. So who are our kids looking up to? If we have everybody wanting to fit in, nobody wanting to correct the wrong behavior, like, and who are the kids look? So they looking at it as like, okay, this is cool. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Mm-hmm. That's why it comes to people like us to stand for something. You got to stand for something. There ain't too many black people standing for something now. Ain't nobody want to stand for something.
Listen to what you just said. Now, if the community, I don't know, as I just pointed out with the school, if the communities don't come together,
I got the solution. Like, word, like, I got the solution, bro. Like, yeah.
What you feeling? What you mean? You got
like how I think I just like this. What I just broke down, like how you should eliminate the guns and no selling drugs on the corners because it's kids getting off the bus stops right here. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna clean up our neighborhoods and our environments and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I got the vision, and like I said, like I'm talking to some people.
This is the part that I want. That's the part I want heard, because a lot of times
we got to clean up our own.
We make these community events, and we put these community events together, and we just out there doing all kinds of wrong things to the point where you can't even focus on the things that's going on that could be considerably right.
And it's not, and my thing is, it's not wrong for you to do it on your own time. Yeah. Personally, I don't smoke or drink, but I don't judge nobody. Yeah. I never have. Because I don't want nothing taking control of me, to be honest. It's just I'm against it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you're gonna do it on your own time. And then also don't do it in front of your kids. Don't do it in front of these kids. And don't sell drugs on the same corners and pollute. You're killing your own people in your area, in your territory, when you selling these drugs. Like, you have to think about it. You're selling these drugs off a profit, off just some small money. That you gonna run out of. So think about this. If you love your black people that much, why would you kill your black people and give them this poison? If you love your black people, if we love black as we say we do, look at yourself and ask yourself, what are we doing to help our community, our people, and what are we doing to destroy our black people in our community?
Oh boy! Once you start putting,
ask yourself that accountability.
You put them pieces together and start taking accountability. That changes the lights of what you gonna do. The likes of what you would do will totally change if you look at what considerably is accountable. Just like you said with kids, if a mom is sitting up, let's go deeper. If a parent, period, is sitting up here doing something that let's not even say what they ain't supposed to be doing. Let's say, period, but if you just sitting up here doing something in front of your child, right? If you think that your child ain't gonna pick up what you're doing, you have been totally mistaken yourself.
I wouldn't even dare smoke in front of my mom if I was a smoker. I would have the respect not to even do that.
Some people do it. Yeah, some people don't feel respect it should be given anymore, and that's like what I said with these schools.
And we need to clean that up, man.
Yeah, these schools respected what they put into a child, what the youth generation was about.
The morals was different.
They wasn't worried about what they selves was. I mean, smoking, we can't even afford to smoke. We can't even afford to drink. And even if it was a case of they could afford to smoke and drink, look at the positions that they were putting their kids and their families in at that time. With all of the stuff and all of the struggles that were going on.
What's the benefits of it though? What do the benefits outweigh the benefit? Do the good benefits outweigh the bad benefits of smoking and drinking? You gonna spend a lot of money on it.
Yeah, it's gonna take all your money.
History has shown most deaths, people were intoxicated. With marijuana. Most of them were high when they got in situations, are arrested, made that one bad decision, quick decision. they were not in their right mind. They were intoxicated. They were, with drugs or alcohol. So look at the history. What is it? Is it causing more harm than positive? Ask yourself that. I think it is. It's causing more harm.
It causes
more harm.
Your body can only take with so much, and again, the more you put on yourself, the more you putting on your body, the easier likely it is that you're gonna end up hurting or killing your own self. And
you just temporarily erasing the pain. You still you get to the root of the problem, and that's the thing with black people. We got to get to the root of really what the problem is, you know what I'm saying, and stop covering up, covering up the history, like how we want to reveal the good things. We got to keep it real with our people on the bad things we need to correct too, because then it will grow and make the black community even better. But you can't grow something if you don't point out the bad things of that, or the bad things of those people, or that individual, or that race. You have to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Correction is only there to help. You feel me?
And that's why we are taking control of taking control of things little by little.
They're gonna get it soon.
The only way it's gonna get done is if somebody keep giving it, in the nature of giving it in a way of, okay,
I think it's working.
Yeah. What can you give? What can you give to your community? Just as these schools where these people were trying to give something to have, what are you giving to your community that's going to help the next generation be great or better than this generation that we're in? Or, let's give these babies a chance at life that would be something meaningful, versus just this thing of just understanding the bad. We just gonna push bad, negative.
Our basic.
Exactly.
And not sky's the limit. You can be better than me. You can be better than me. You can do better than me. You can do better than me. You can achieve it. You can achieve it. You can do anything you put your mind into. I'm saying these words because that's what a lot of our black kids don't hear, and our black generations don't hear. So we need to push those things, those words out more to our generation, man. That's how I feel.
With all of the talk, with all of the straightforwardness, hopefully you all have a better understanding and mentality of what it is to educate. Yes, we need to be educated in our older generations, yes, but as well, we need to be on top of it for the next generation. The only way they're gonna get there is if we plant things in them to help them get there, just like how they did with the Rosenwald schools. These were planted to help black children, to make them better, to give them a life better than what the parents had, or anything to that nature, where it was the generation before them.
Right.
That past generation was trying to make it better for the next generation.
Right.
Now that we've gotten to this now, in this term of generations, we've switched that total aspect. And it needs to go back to how it was in that light, because these babies need it. They need to understand. They need to know what's right from wrong.
Right.
Y'all loving to teach that wrong, but when you gonna teach that right?
Right.
So for the case of, we appreciate the black history that we've been absorbing. We appreciate it. And they're not even just y'all. We're educating ourselves as well.
Exactly.
That's something that we've been tuned into doing, and we're gonna continue to do that. But again, we've come to another end of another great episode. We hope that, again, that you're learning. If that's nothing else, I'm definitely gonna keep bringing it.
I'm growing.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep bringing it, because I know if I'm learning, somebody else got to be learning.
Facts.
So again, we appreciate y'all. Y'all
feel better coming off the tongue.
For real.
It do.
Real.
Talking this way.
It makes
it's
you
in
feel
me. It's
better.
in me. It ain't on me. It's in me.
Yeah, it makes you feel better. But again, we're Not Just Music Podcast. Subscribe to our website. Email list is very much ready for you. If you're really locked in with us, go there. Lock in there. Everything, just go on our website. Everything is there, from merch to the last episode we just dropped. Again, we are very much blessed to see you all, and we will be blessed to see you all if you come back again next Thursday at 8:00 p.m.
Yes,
So, again, I'm Dewan Barino. Quincy Murdoch in the building as always, and we will see you next time.